So, ladies and gentlemen, today we have Sandeep back, and he's going to be showing us Nakshatra Chakra Paddathi. And this is something which is absolutely amazing because once you find out, you're like, wow, this is great. So, Sandeep, from your Einstein's lab, you're now bringing Nakshatra Chakra Paddathi. So, yeah, what is this monstrosity?
Yeah, it's kind of interesting because I think you kind of popularized this Padam Chakra technique before, in which you didn't want to know what planets or were sitting in the Raj Yoga, stuff like that, in which you kind of showed, each year
Yeah.
each is activated, and even though it was out there, we came to know thanks to you. So now that after having worked with that technique which you had shared, and having studied the nakshatras with Dr. I had always wondered how does this work at the level of the nakshatras.
Okay.
So that was one of the things that I always wanted to find out. And so surprisingly, it was kind of a surprising thing when a student of mine actually asked a question about does this technique actually work with nakshatras? Is it possible that each year each nakshatra is getting activated? So that really got me thinking, like, wow, you know what, perhaps there is something. And that's what I just basically did. And I'll share my screen.
Okay.
Let's see.
Also, what you should do, take your video out. So I think your bandwidth will be much more smoother.
Okay, great. My video.
Just say take the video out and then usually becomes smooth. Okay, yeah.
Okay, great. Okay. So, I'm just calling it Nakshatra Chakra Paddathi, timing events using nakshatras, It's a very straightforward, simple. So the whole point is that, you can actually time events using just nakshatra alone. So look, for instance, say today's moon is actually in Ashwini. So when you're born, your moon nakshatra is immediately activated. That is the first thing that will be activated. So when you're born, your year one begins. Your first year begins. When you're born, your first year or your year one is beginning, and your moon nakshatra, which is moon in Ashwini, will be the year nakshatra that is activated. Now, after you turn 1 year old, now your second year begins, or the year two begins, as per the Indian age system. So in second year, the next nakshatra from the moon, which is Bharani, will be activated. Now, and following that, after you turn 2 years old, third nakshatra from the moon, which is Kritika, that will be activated. After 3, Rohini, which is the fourth nakshatra from the moon. And then after Rohini, Mrigashira, which is the fifth nakshatra from the moon. Now, after you turn 5 years old, again Ardra, which will be corresponding to the sixth nakshatra of the sixth year, and Punarasu will be corresponding to the 7th year and 8th year, and so on. And now, after you turn 9 years old, next nakshatra will be the Magha.
Okay. Now, is this always Ashwini, or let's say born in? So let's say somebody's born in Kritika nakshatra, that'll be year one.
Yeah, that will be a different slide that will explain that also.
Okay.
So he was kind of introducing what this technique will mean. And so basically the years will go on, but you get the point. So basically when the 23rd year is running, corresponding nakshatra will be activated and stuff like that, And so now here we hit a dilemma. Okay, what happens on the 7th year, right? So the 7th year, the nakshatra before Ashwini, which is Revati, will be activated.
Okay.
But after 27th year, the 28th year will begin, and 28th year now you have Ashwini again being activated. So that is the point here. So now after 28th year will be Ashwini, and then the cycle moves on. After 28th year to 29th year will be the next nakshatra, which is Bharani, and so on. So basically this chart will go on. That's the whole cycle. It's called a chakra because it's moving like in a circle. It's moving around the zodiac as the year is progressing. In fact, I found out that there is actually a Western technique called the annual system of perfections, if I'm not mistaken. It's the same thing as the Padam Chakra thing, in which each year one house is being activated, So it's the same thing. But here we are doing it from a nakshatra perspective. now to answer the question, what if your moon was in Barney?
Yeah.
So now, how does that work out? Now, if your moon is in Barney, when you're turning 1 year old, before you turn 1 year old, the first moon in Barney will be activated. After you turn 1 year old, when your second year is beginning, the second nakshatra from Barney will be activated, which is Kritika, on the cycle moves,
Okay.
So now what is interesting is that, say you know this particular cycle and you know very focal points in the chart. Say your ascendant is actually in Swati. Now you know that Swati nakshatra will be activated in the 14th year based on this technique. So this 14th year, you can expect some big life path kind of decisions and impact, because Swati will be activated based on this technique. And then Nakshatra will be activated. So this will be a very important year for you with regard to your life path and ascendant. At the same thing, in 17th year, Jupiter in Jeshta will be activated. So you can expect Jupiter-related events to a chart can be activated again. And the Nishta Nakshatra will be activating the Sun. So when 22nd year is running for you, Sun will be activated, and so on for the rest of the planets. So that's the simple thing. Again, I'm just listing out the years here for Barney Nakshatra. You just need the same thing for your chart, and you can add the important years in your chart. Now, this is how it would look like in real. So we found out that the Sun will be activated in the 22nd year, 23rd year, if I'm not mistaken. So Sun is in that year. So now you know the Sun will be activated for sure. Look at what Sun is doing in this chart. Sun is the 11th Lord in the 5th house. So you can expect that kind of events to happen. Jeshta was activated based on this chart. Well, Swati was activated, if I'm not mistaken, in 14th year. Let's see. And the 40th for this particular Barney moon. Expect 41st year and 14th year to be very significant for this native. It's a very simple, straightforward thing to look at. And then, when Saturn is being activated, you can expect Saturn-related events, especially when Saturn nakshatra, which is Revati, being activated based on this simple technique.
Okay.
So it's a very simple, straightforward thing. It's a very simple thing, but some things came across with this particular technique. But does this make sense to you, Kapilji?
Give us like an example. Like, let's say if Sun is in the 4th house in Capricorn, and let's say it was in Saravan Nakshatra. What do you say, let's say at whatever age this nakshatra is being activated?
Right. So the first important thing to understand is that the nakshatra will be activated.
Okay.
The nakshatra being activated would mean Shravana will be activated. Shravana would be activated. Shravana would play out. Themes of Shravana would be like walking, traveling. Themes of Shravana would be translating. Themes of Shravana again would be like expanding in size by threefold.
Yeah.
Because story of one.
Yeah.
3 steps, you might go on important journeys, things like that, traveling a lot. And then you have Sun there, and Sun is the 11th Lord based on this chart. So it could be that your father might have done some kind of traveling in this particular year. Now, your elder sibling on the travel because it's the 11th Lord. Now, could also be that the person might have found some kind of self-esteem or something like that too. Under the 4th house, it can also be with respect to things like that as well. So it's like you could say 11th Lord and 4th house is like some kind of gains coming to the family, some kind of recognitions coming to the family, or something to do with lands also.
Yeah, land. I was thinking about land. I'm like, they could have like 3 pieces of land, or land could be divided in 3 parts.
Exactly. Land could be divided in 3 parts. In fact, if you look at where is placed in, could be that, there might be around you. Could be that half of the land is with you and the 3 neighbors on the other. All relations possible with
you're really breaking up, Sandeep.
So that. Oh yeah. So I was just saying. So like if it could be some kind of themes of 3 could play out. Could be that you have 3 neighbors. Could be that you have 3 pieces of land, or even donate land. Possible with Shravana.
Right.
So Shravana, donation of land is also possible. So that can also happen. Now let's see. Now here is one last thing I found about this technique. You can actually count nakshatras from other planets as well. But what is interesting is that say you're counting, say Jupiter is in Barney right now. and you're counting the same years from nakshatra cycle based on Jupiter. Identify the years when Jupiter ruled nakshatras will be activated, and you will find that it will be very important year with regard to Jupiter, with respect to that particular planet. So, what the here is that identify the planet, identify the nakshatras of that planet, and look at the years when that particular nakshatras of that particular planet will be activated, and that will be very significant with respect to this particular planet. Okay, so Kapilji, I know this has been a lot of theory, but we can look at any kind of live charts or whatever. I'm kind of fine with that. Look at pull out any kind of example, stuff like that. Yeah, I'm kind of sure it will show itself out.
Okay, so let me open a chart here for you. Let me see. Okay, so let me share this here. Okay.
Okay, let's see. So for this particular chart, we have that. Look at the moon here right now. So the moon nakshatra is in Purva Falguni nakshatra.
Yeah.
Now, is there a Navtara screen option, a view to look at the Navtara?
Navatara, I don't think so. It must be here. I've never used it.
Shafala, Astral, okay. Oh, calculations. Look at charts option. Okay, now I'm sure. Okay, well, just Parvatopatra Chakra. I think I see the nakshatra listed there in the second last option there. In,
what are you trying
in
to
the
find
chart. Out? Okay, I'm trying to find out the number of nakshatras and stuff like that. Like I just want to see the whole nakshatras listed in one screen.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Here, I think this may help.
Okay.
Okay, so let me. Well, here's the thing. I may have to then reshare. If you just go on, Google and just say nakshatra list, it'll give you.
Okay. Yeah, fine.
So,
okay.
Like from Purva Falguni is number 9.
Okay, great. Let me with you then. So now that you have the nakshatra list in front of you, you know that the moon is in Hasta in this particular chart, right? And then, so tell me, when will be the next? So first year when the child is born, Hasta moon will be operating. It will be activated. Now, when will be the next ruled nakshatra, which is Shravana? When will be activated based on the technique?
Wait. You're saying that the next year Hasta would be operating for the moon?
No. When the child is born,
the
moon nakshatra is activated.
Yes.
So Hasta will be running.
No, right? It's Purva Falguni.
Oh, okay. I was looking at now. I'm so sorry. Okay, great. So Purva Falguni will be running.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
So next year would be Uttara Falguni.
Okay, great. So the year 2 will be Uttara Falguni. Year 3 will be Hasta. Right? Year 4 will be Chitra. Okay?
Yeah.
Year 5 will be Swati. Now year 6 will actually be Vishaka. Right? Now what is Vishaka?
You said year 6 would be the 12th house? I'm sorry, 11th house?
No. We are looking only at the nakshatra levels, right? So we are only looking at nakshatras one by one.
Okay, so Vishaka could represent a split.
Yeah,
divide.
So now, yeah, exactly. So in the 6th year, there would have been some kind of Vishaka-like events for this particular native.
Okay.
Now remember, Vishaka will again be activated 27 years later also. So like the 27 years later, again Vishaka will be activated. So now the 6th year is 6 plus 26, 27 is 33rd year. So again in 33rd year, there will be Mars in Vishaka-like event. Now Vishaka here, look at Mars. Mars is actually the 2nd law and the 9th law, 8th house. So it could be some kind of event related to the father.
Yeah.
Could be like some kind of unexpected event. Could also be that some kind of unexpected travel, foreign journey, foreign travel could also be. Perhaps some kind of pilgrimages to Mars kind of places. which is like, Narasimha or, Hanuman temple or something like that. All that kind of thing is possible because Vishaka is activated. Now, Vishaka, you have to remember it's an arch. So perhaps this native might go under an arch, which we places there is an arch.
Yeah.
It can also happen, Now, what's also interesting, so now we know Vishaka is 6, right? So let's go forward. 7th year will be Anuradha, right? After Vishaka, you have Anuradha. Now, after Anuradha, you have Jeshta, right? And that will be, which year will that be?
Right. For me, it's right now complicated to count.
Here's telling you need to see a list of nakshatras, Just share that. If you can share
It's the 8th year, so it'll be 8th year.
It will be the 8th nakshatra from the moon.
Yeah.
So what is the 8th nakshatra from the moon? From Purva Falguni moon?
It'll be the ascendant.
That will be the 8th house from the moon. That is correct.
Oh,
you are correct on that front.
Ascendant.
Yeah, but you're counting from the ascendant. You have to count the nakshatra. That's the technique here, right?
Wait a second. So, you're counting. First house becomes the Uttara or Purva Falguni Nakshatra. Is that how you're doing it?
Exactly. Yeah. You can look at that way
I'm
also.
counting it from the moon itself.
Yeah, from the moon itself. All counting is from the moon itself.
You can do both.
So you can do both. You can count from the houses, which is what you taught originally. But then what I'm saying is that it will also have the flavor of the nakshatra from the moon that particular year.
Okay.
So you can see that, I think the 7th year was Mars, right? 6th year was Vishaka. So 6th house will be activated on, based on the Padam Chakra technique.
Yeah.
And then nakshatra from the moon, which will also be activated. So that will also add a flavor to it.
Okay. I see.
But see, no matter what, the person might have to deal with the Vishaka-like events because it's kind of strong, because Mars is again activated. Now see, you can also further say that Vishaka will be activated in the 8th month also, within the 6th year. Does that make sense? Why?
Because you're counting each month as a nakshatra?
Yeah.
Or perhaps you're dividing the 12 months with 27.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So what I'm doing here, I'm simply saying that you can combine the Padam Chakra technique of each house each year with nakshatra flavor also, and then you get and you can add the month specific date, and you will actually get events. So literally there will be events connected with that. So yeah.
So I think so what people just need to understand is that when you're using moon nakshatra, the first nakshatra of the moon is the first house. And then second nakshatra from the moon, which for this individual will be Uttara Falguni, will give its effect in the 2nd year, which is the 2nd house.
Right, exactly.
Okay. And then the 3rd nakshatra Hasta will play, which is at the age of 3, which is the 3rd house. And then you can also look at the Uttara Falguni 2nd from the moon as well, which is the 7th house.
Right.
Hasta will be the 8th house. And then combine the flavor of the two to keep it more simply.
Yeah. You can even make the nakshatra activated from the moon as the ascendant also.
Yeah.
Uttara Falguni as the ascendant, the chart. You can make Hasta as the ascendant and read the chart as well. You can even
so let's say this person had Hasta activated at the age of 3 or age of 3, let's say. Well, okay, so Hasta is activated at the age of 3 from the moon or from the ascendant. So I'll make 3rd house the ascendant.
Right.
And I'll study the chart. So maybe they'll do something creative and artistic.
Yes.
They'll do a lot of communication or sports. They'll be in the 6th month will be some competition or wherever that Mars comes into play during that.
Yeah. Right. Now, what is interesting is that because Hasta is activated, you will have to say that you will be using your hands in one way or the other.
Hands. You have to look at the nakshatra theme itself.
Right. Yeah, I know it sounds a little bit complicated, but it's very pure simplicity in best. In fact, the
Yeah,
technique is
no,
very simple.
I know,
Yeah,
I get it. Yeah, it is actually very simple. It just it'll take a
yeah,
while for new people to just get it. But you're mainly using the nakshatra energy during that particular year to keep it simple. Don't even go to months. That might become complicated for them. Just use the
yeah.
year,
But
use that actual.
see, you can even get to the days. I mean, you can just divide a month into a,
I
two
know,
and a
you
half.
can start playing God in that sense. You can do that with Padam Chakra too. Like, you can go to the
Yeah,
year, month, week, day. Yesterday, this person called you, talked about this, and they were wearing red color. We've done that.
yeah,
It's possible. Yeah.
yeah. So one thing I'll say is that I've seen this technique work. So there is a couple of, one is that you can see here in this chart, there are only, so the next Venus rule nakshatra will be activated, will be Uttara, Purva, Ashada, because moon is in Purva Falguni here. The
Yeah.
next moon actually in Purva, Ashada, and that will be the 10th year, right? That's the thing.
10th
And
nakshatra.
then right. So it's like a technique in looking at, is there any other possibility suggested by, is there any other possible event suggested by this particular in this chart? I know we know the house that is activated as per the Padam Chakra, all that we can say that. But then say one particular nakshatra is holding, say like in the 9th year, Uttarashada nakshatra will be activated. Right?
Yeah.
Now in the 9th year, Uttarashada will be active because 10th year, Purvashada is active. Wait, is
Yeah.
that right?
No,
No,
no, no.
sorry, that
Purva
11th year,
Shara
Uttarashada
will
will be
be the
active.
11th year.
Exactly, right.
Mula will
So
be
11th
activated
year,
in the 9th. Uh-oh. Hold
right,
on.
right, in the 10th year.
Yeah.
The 10th year, Purva will be activated. In the 11th year, Uttarashada will be activated. So
Yeah.
say if this child was going to enter into any kind of competition, can you say that this child will win any kind of competition in this particular year, 10th year?
Yes.
Why? Why is that?
Well, because in the 10th year, you've got the Jupiter sitting right there in the 10th house in the nakshatra of Uttarashada,
Right,
and 10th from moon is Venus in its own sign in Rohini, which can, again, with very good in terms
right.
of finding.
But see, the 10th year is also, remember the 10th year is also Uttarashada Nakshatra. What is the
Yeah.
flavor of Uttarashada
Victory.
Nakshatra? It's a battle. Yeah,
Battle.
final victory.
Yeah.
Final victory. And then again, Jupiter is retrograde. It's very strong in the chart also. It's like literally strong.
Yeah.
All that, Vargotam, all that. So it's like, so that's great. So like now you can say that if this child was to enter into any competition, the 10th year, they'll definitely be winning. But it will have a Jupiter and retrograde flavor also. It might be some kind of reversal happening. Or the competition might be entered and then it's coming back again or something like that, Because the retrograde Jupiter is there. So you have to look at the entire chart and stuff like that. And, but what is great is that, so say like, okay, when will I get married? Right? So
Yeah.
if someone is asking for that, if this was, say this was a chart of a woman, right? And then she was asking, when will I get married? And for this particular chart. And now we already know that the 11th year, Uttarashada will be activated,
Yeah.
right? Uttarashada activated in 11th year of 11th year. And then the next time Uttarashada will be activated will be 27 plus 11, which is like, 38. Okay, 38 is too late for marriage, but but say someone is looking for a really good partner and stuff like that, right? And then you were around 37 years and you're basically asking, will I be married next year? Already know that Jupiter is being activated in the 38th year, right? And then, or when will I find my guru or something like that, right? 30th year, literally Jupiter is being activated. And then literally you can easily say, yeah, next year there's a high possibility for you to meet a guru or a husband or things like that.
I
Why?
see.
Because Jupiter is being activated based on this
Yeah.
particular technique. So like even though the rest of the chart is not showing whatever, like what would be that is activated in the 38th year? What is a Padam Chakra house that will be activated in the 38th year? That will be the third house, right?
Yeah.
No, the second house will be activated in the 38th year. Okay. Yeah, so the normal technique of looking at the 38th year would have been looking at the second house, Then you read the second house chart and all that. Okay, Mars is aspecting, second lord in 8th house, all that kind of thing. Well, it's receiving an aspect from Jupiter and all that. But then, because you know this technique, you can immediately say, you know what, literally in the 10th month, you might find someone in this particular year. Literally, and you might actually find someone in this particular year. Even you can even further enhance and say, like, you can meet someone even in the 5th month. Well, in the 5th month also. There might be a chance for 5th month to happen. 5th month to meet someone. You know why? Why did I say 5th month? Because I counted houses from the moon also for this particular. And so moon, Jupiter is being activated in the 5th month, right? So give you one more flavor. Yeah.
See, all I think people need to understand is that once they learn the age being activated from nakshatra, not the house, if they can just somehow remember and memorize it. Because even I'm just learning this right now with you. And for me, it'll take a while. Okay, so the age 1, if it's in Bharani, then age 2 will be this. But then when will Bharani become active next? Okay, it'll be this, and this year. Once you grasp that, then you can like see, okay, so 10th year this, 22nd year this.
Right. See, okay, let's look at this. So I'll tell you one quick thing which people should just have a look at. Tell me which year will Revati be activated from Purva Falguni Nakshatra? And which year will Revati be activated?
Revati will be 16th year.
Why 16th? Tell me the logic.
Because from Purva Falguni, 17th year, sorry.
17th year. Why again?
Because from Purva Falguni is the 17th nakshatra.
Okay, 17th nakshatra. Okay, that makes sense. Because the 19. So it's an easy way to think is that you add 9 to the nakshatra, you get the same planetary lord nakshatra. So moon is in Purva Falguni nakshatra. The next Venus, it is ruled by Venus. The next Venus ruled nakshatra is Ashada. That will happen 9-1, which is 10th. 10th nakshatra from that will be the same Venus ruled nakshatra.
Okay.
And then 10 plus the 9 again will give the next Venus ruled nakshatra, which is Bharani. So Bharani will be the 19th nakshatra. The nakshatra before that is Ashwini, which will be the 18th nakshatra. The nakshatra before that will be Revati, which is 17th nakshatra. Yeah. So 17th nakshatra is correct. Now, for this particular native, 17th year will be very significant. It's as simple as that. 17th year will be very significant. Why? Ascendant is actually active. And you can expect Revati kind of themes, like nourishing, traveling, or something of counseling, even isolation, dealing with counselor like event. Or now make Revati as the ascendant and read the chart. Again, Jupiter is, ascendant lord going into 10th house, strong, education, educational achievements, things like that. The 17th year is going to be important. The next time the same nakshatra will be activated will be 17 plus 27, right? So that is like 44, I would say. No, is it 40? Yeah, 44. So you are adding 27.
So 17th year, the ascendant is activated, but also the 5th house is activated.
Yeah, exactly.
Because from the moon and from the Lagna itself.
Exactly.
Okay, got it.
Exactly. Yeah. So you have 5th house activated. But we have to be clear, right? So the Padam Chakra technique is what you mentioned here, with the 5th house being activated in the 17th year. You can make moon as the ascendant and count the house again, and that can also be 5th house activated from the moon also. But the technique which but then 17th year is actually activating this particular nakshatra of Revati. So normally we would have given readings based on, okay, 5th house is activated, 5th lord and all that. But then now you have to say, because Revati is the ascendant nakshatra, it will be very significant for you, and it might happen in a Revati nakshatra-like fashion. So that is the difference. That is the third thing. But it will be very significant no matter for the native. So like you say, you have Venus nakshatra being activated. It's not a perfect technique in the sense, it's a simple system. But then if it's hitting the mark, then you know what, it's actually hitting the mark. It's as simple as that, Like if it's hitting the mark, say the year that is activated is activating an important point in the chart or a planet in the chart, like Jupiter as in Uttarashada or ascendant here in this particular example. Then you know what is actually is actually like, going to be a significant event. And this is something I can actually say. And when I started to look at charts, I made, it was literally you can create entire system with this. I literally feel like I can retire now, because it's like literally I found out this beautiful thing which can actually be a perfect thing. It's almost very perfect in its sense. But
Yes.
it's like any other system, obviously. It's like you can actually like count from the nakshatra, stuff like that. That kind of thing. Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. No, yeah. I mean, I think people just need to either rewatch this over and over and just remember the dates that each nakshatra is activating from each other, which is going to be, it's better to just use the list when you do these predictions.
Yeah.
So then you get used to it.
What I would advise is that simply the list which I showed with Barney and stuff, make a list of that. Make from the moon nakshatra, write down the nakshatras, and then simply put planets there and count the years also the same way which I did it in the table.
Now,
And
here's the thing.
immediately you will find, yeah.
Will the theme repeat?
Exactly, it will repeat. 100% it will repeat.
Wow.
So it will exactly it will repeat. Every 12 years we go through a big difference. Every 12 years the first house is again activated. But each year, as per the Padam Chakra system, new planet is being activated. Now the only thing that is missing here, and I think is further research is required and further thinking is required. In fact, will be which planet will be responsible during each of these cycles. So 27 cycle, 27 years will be repeating, right? So almost I'm thinking like some kind of element of Saturn should be involved or something like that. I'm thinking Saturn right now because it's 27, 28, something like that. So there's something deeper there which I haven't found, which is requiring me to think also. But yeah, I think, but at least the technique is working. It's working for sure.
Okay.
But there's this principle of like the theme repeating is definitely happening for sure. So if 12 years the same house is being activated,
Yeah.
But this time, because of the other maturity planets and all that is influencing, you could say it can definitely be repeated, literally like, but it might have a different flavor in its repetition. Yeah.
Okay. Got it. Perfect.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So yeah,
that's what I have.
For this, Sandeep, for coming and teaching. I don't know, do you got any courses coming or anything on this or?
Oh yeah, well, no courses. Yeah, constellations through Cosmic Insights. Right now I'm there, so like you can get constellations through that.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's what I. Yeah.
All right. Perfect. Thank you, Sandeep, for coming here.
Okay. Sure.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yep.